The featured reviews for this series say it's easy and light as cotton candy, and sweet and bubbly as soda pop. Okay, who was hungry when they picked the review blurbs for the back cover?
Argo Funk Book Review, Argo Funk Book Review.
The Unicorn Club is starting a cheerleading squad called the Boosters. Mean and vindictive as a five-alarm chili, Jessica complains how awful it is they have to hold open auditions. Why is the school forcing them to be nice to losers like Lois and Amy? The Unicorn should be allowed to reject them outright. Mom is shocked at Jessica's attitude. It's almost like Mom has no idea Jessica hates everyone who's not in her Mean Girls club. Lila calls to complain about Tryouts. Those kids are as gross and disgusting as fruitcake, especially Amy. Jessica says she's been working on a great new cheer. She's disappointed when Lila dismisses her outright. Lila reminds Jessica cheerleading was her idea. Amy is nervous during tryouts. It doesn't help that Elizabeth's pep talk is basically, "There's too much competition, you should probably quit." Amy is so nervous, she drops her pom-poms twice. The school is also having basketball tryouts. In the high school series, Ken Matthews is a sports star who dates Jessica and Elizabeth. Here in middle school, he's short and weak, while the other boys, like Bruce Patman, are as large and imposing as a 30-inch pizza. It doesn't help that Coach keeps expecting Ken to live up to his father's legendary reputation. Elizabeth encourages Ken to try his hardest. Don't let the bullies stop you from living your dreams. Elizabeth helps Ken with 2 basketball lessons, one from her, one from her brother. Jessica is not happy to see Ken's at their house. He's such a loser. Why doesn't Elizabeth care about her reputation? Ken's almost as bad as Amy. Amy was so bad. It's embarrassing. Elizabeth points out that Jessica is in no position to judge other people's friends when her best friend Lila is so awful. Lila forces Jessica to do all of her work and takes the credit for it. Jessica needs new friends, ones who actually like and respect her. This is very true, and sadly it's a drop storyline that doesn't get resolved. Ken talks with Elizabeth the next day. Bruce teases them, saying Ken has a girlfriend. Soon enough, the entire school is talking about how Elizabeth and Ken are the first couple of 6th grade. I'm not sure why everyone thinks Ken is a loser for dating the best girl in school. Normally, that sort of thing is good for your reputation. Jessica is furious when she hears the rumors her sister is dating a nerd. That poses a major threat to Jessica's popularity. Elizabeth thinks the best thing to do is ignore the dumb rumors. There's a scene where she explains this to Jessica, followed by a scene where she explains this to Amy, followed by a scene where she explains this to Ken, followed by a scene where she explains this to Jessica again. It's pretty repetitive. As nasty as spoiled bananas, the Unicorn Club gangs up on Amy in the hallway. They pressure her into dropping out of the cheerleading tryouts. Amy refuses to quit. Lila realizes Amy has a crush on Ken, which gives her a new idea: fake love letters. Lila forces Jessica to write a letter to Amy, encouraging her to quit. Jessica likes it so much, she writes a second fake letter to Ken, encouraging him to avoid Elizabeth and Amy. Jessica feels pretty good about this scheme. She's annoyed when Lila steals all the credit again. Amy instantly realizes the letter is fake. She's a smart woman. He's just Ken. He thinks the letter is real. He runs away scared whenever the girls are nearby. Very similar to how I behaved in middle school, actually. Elizabeth confronts Jessica about the letters. Jessica lies for as long as she can. Then she repeats her earlier rants against Ken. I think Ken is a loser, so I'm justified in doing anything to get rid of him, even if I humiliate my twin sister in the process. Jessica is a horrible person. Elizabeth puts her foot down. She says Jessica can't pick other people's friends, and Jessica shouldn't bully the people she dislikes. Jessica ignores Elizabeth and doubles down on the plan to humiliate Amy at cheer tryouts. Elizabeth tells Amy and Ken about the fake letters. Amy becomes even more determined to make the cheer squad. Ken thinks Amy is as great and amazing as cheeseburgers with fries. She inspires him to keep trying too. Amy does well at cheer tryouts. She doesn't drop her pom-pom once. The unicorns try to humiliate Amy by forcing her to cheer for Ken. She does the best cheer ever, complete with spins. Ken is so inspired, he wins his basketball tryouts. The unicorns are forced to admit Amy's talented, and they let her join the cheer squad. Ken and Amy go out on a date. Elizabeth decides to support her friends more, and Jessica learns the lesson that you should not judge someone by their looks and personality. That lesson doesn't last very long. Jessica turns around and decides the new girl at school is so creepy and weird-looking, she must be a witch. This is followed by a list of characters, so you know who everyone is. Why did they put that at the end of the book? It should be at the start. And why does the character list have people who aren't even in this book? The end. Post-book follow-up. Maybe those bubbly reviews were right. Amy is adorable in this graphic novel. Elizabeth and Ken have cute moments too. Jessica would be cute if she wasn't a selfish jerk who spends the entire book complaining she hates other people. I'm sad that the book sets up a story where Jessica realizes Lila is a false friend, only to not give us any resolution. I would have loved an ending where Jessica stands up to Lila and quits the squad over the way they mistreat Amy. Have Jessica truly learn a lesson. I don't know how long this series can keep going with pretending that Jessica's secretly a nice person and it's just her friends who are the problem. Maybe I missed it, but did the graphic novel explain why they had tryouts at the start, only to have tryouts again at the end? Did the first round of tryouts not count? If the unicorns hate Amy so much, why did they invite her to be in the second round of tryouts? Overall, I'd say it's a decent book about standing up to bullies and believing in your friends. Amy and Ken make for a cute couple. I just wish Jessica's role had been changed, because readers are still supposed to root for her, even though she's the worst bully of all. That's as out of place and off-putting as finding onions in your birthday cake. I give Sweet Valley Twins graphic novel number 3, Choosing Sides, a 7 out of 10.